A very good day, dear students. So, since we are continuing with our programming session, let us continue our session. Let us move on to our next session and let us see what awaits us. Here it is for you. Session number 19 or chapter number 19 or class number 19. That is for Arduino arrays. Okay. So now, what do we actually mean by arrays? What are the arrays? The arrays, they are basically defined as the data structures that allow multiple values to be grouped together in a simple way. Okay. So what is happening? There are multiple values, okay, numerous amount of values. They are being grouped together and they are known as arrays, right? Okay. So this is a very easy access method basically. All right, a very easy access method, and that is why we group together. See, grouping anything, okay, let it be any instrument, any materialistic thing, anything. Grouping is always easier to study and use it. Okay, so the array is normally built from the data types like integers, real numbers, characters, boolean numbers. Okay, all these are the data types from which the array building takes place. Okay, the set of consecutive numbers usually represent the elements in the array, which are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, in number of times. Okay, so these numbers represent one after the other element inside an array. Okay, so for example, we can provide an example that if the name of an array of 5 elements is AR, the elements will be referenced as shown below. AR0, AR1, AR2, AR3, AR4 inside brackets, inside third brackets, right? What does that mean? That the for example, there is a word or there is an array which we call, it is being made up of 5 elements or 5 characters, anything. It can be anything. Okay. Now, the name of this array or the name of this grouping is basically we have kept as AR. Okay, short form for array. Okay, so each element in that array would be named like this. How? The first element would be AR0, second element would be AR1, third element would be AR2, like this. Go on. Okay, so this is what the referencing in array means. I hope this concept is clear to you. See, arrays in Arduino, what we are going to study. The array in Arduino is declared with the integer data type. Okay. So basically the integer data type we use to declare the array. Now it is also defined as the collection of variables which is acquired with an index number. All right. So this is how the array is being represented. If you see this image over here, this is the name of the array we have given as AR. Okay. Position of the element with an array. That means AR0, it will represent the first element of the array, right? Understood? And then comes the assigned value. Okay. I hope you have understood this. Now, what we can do is we can specify any name according to our choice. The array name is the individual name of an array. That means when we are specifying any name and then we are specifying, we are giving the numbers related to the number of elements inside an array, we are basically naming or we are basically specifying which element we want to refer to. Now, array declaration. That means declaration of array. How can we declare array? Okay. But there are different methods to declare an array in Arduino. Let us see them one by one. First is int myArray, then the third brackets. Then we declare the set of elements. Okay. So this is how we can declare the array without initializing its elements. So we are not basically initializing its elements separately, but we are directly declaring the array. Okay, we are directly declaring an array. For example, you see int myArray 5. We declare the array by initializing the size and elements. All right. Okay. So let us continue. Features of an array. Okay. if you're not getting this like into depth, like try to understand when we'll be programming, when we'll be coding in future, then we'll be using these arrays. So it's nothing to be like get scared of if you're not getting it, no problem. See, the elements of the array can be characters, negative numbers, etc. Anything it can be. Okay, they are just elements. They will just be treated as elements. Okay, see for int my array 4. So the numbers inside the what are the characters that are present inside? They're numbers like 1, -3, 4, anything there can be. Okay, or char my array. Char means character. Char refers to characters. 6. It's written as high. So high is basically character that is being referenced. Right. Okay. The size of the array should not be less than the number of the elements. For example, int my array 5, then 1, 4, 6, 7 is been given in the set, right? Now it can be written as int my array 8, 1, 4, 6, 7, but it cannot be written as int my array 2, 1, 4, 6, 7. Why? Try to understand the number, the numerical value inside the third brackets, they refer to the size of that. Now, can it happen that it's like taking a smaller plastic bag or taking a smaller bag and putting like the bag have the capacity to carry 10 apples, but you want to put 100 apples or 50 apples inside? It cannot happen. So that means if we declare the space in the array, if we like declare the size of the array by a lesser number, we cannot put elements more than that number inside the array set, right? But the vice versa or the opposite can happen. We can declare the size of the array to be more, and we can put less apples, less apples in the bag, right? If we take a bag which can carry 100 apples and then put 10 apples in it, that's okay. That's all right? But if we take a smaller bag and try to carry 100 apples, it will never happen. So that is the same concept over there. Okay. What we are getting here is the same concept. See, now I've given you a snippet, a screenshot basically of my own laptop. What we can do. Let's specify the array as int my array 5, that is equal to 1, 4, 6, 7. You see what we have done? We have specified it in 1, 4, 6, 7. Okay. The code will successfully compile as shown below. See, what is the message being shown in the middle over here? Done compiling. Right? There is no error being shown over here. Okay. So serial print. This is shown below, like time is shown below. Okay. No error is being shown. So now if we specify the array as int my array 2 and we write like this, give elements, 4 elements inside it, what it will show? Too many initializers for int. Why? Because it cannot initialize displaying the array if you give the array size to be 2 and put 4 elements in it, right? This can be either equal to this number of elements or it can be higher than the number of elements. You cannot do the opposite. You cannot do the vice versa. Okay. All right. I hope you are getting the concept. Okay. Next. The total elements while specifying the char type, that is the character type, should be n-1, where n is the size of the array. It is because one element is required to hold the null character in there. Like for example, let's specify the array as character ABC 8 and we write Arduino. So there are 7 characters, right? Now we need to initialize different name of the 2 arrays in a program. Otherwise the same name will conflict. You see? All right. Access of array in Arduino. The array in Arduino has 0 index, right? So it means that the first element of the array will be indexed as 0, right? That's why the indexing begins from 0 to the number of elements that are there, right? So if the array name is, for example, A, so it will be A0, A1, A2 like this. All right. I hope you got my point. Now, let's see the first example. Let's take an array that is an Arduino of 6 elements. The elements of the array are shown below. Okay, see, AR Arduino 0, AR Arduino 1, AR Arduino 2, AR Arduino 3, AR Arduino 4, and AR Arduino 5. Now, the last element of the array is AR Arduino 5, as it is being displayed over here, as is shown. The last element of the array will be n minus 1, where n is the declared size of it. That's what I have been saying to you. Okay? Understood? Next, consider the below code. AR Arduino 6. We have specified the sizes 6. How many elements are there, dear students? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 elements. Right? Okay. So if I write AR Arduino 4, which element does it point to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Is it? No, that's not right. So how should we count? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the AR Arduino 4 element. Can you see? Understood what I'm trying to say? So from 0, the indexing begins. And if you see AR Arduino 5, which element is it? The last element. What is AR Arduino 6? Because the size is 6. Can you expect AR Arduino 6 to be an element? No, it will not be an element. Okay, because only 5 elements, only 6 elements are there, right? Okay. Now, arithmetic operations on array. Now let's understand the operations carried on the array. Now see, only learning the array or only like learning about what it is and how does it looks like, how to index will not help. Okay, we need to perform some of the operations using them, right? So let us see the first one, sum. We can also calculate the sum of elements within an array, right? How? Let's consider an array AR with 4 elements. The elements are AR0, AR1, AR2, and AR3. Okay. To calculate the sum of the first 2 elements, what we need to do, just write down the indexing of the numbers or indexing of the elements. Serial.print AR0 plus AR1. So what it will print, basically the summation of the first 2. The sum of the values assigned to the elements within an array will be printed. Okay. Understood? Example 2, division. We will divide the value assigned to the element, that is AR4, with 2. So what can be done? Simply, very simple. The resulting value will be assigned to the variable C or Z, whatever you say. Consider the below code. Say Z equal to AR4 divided by 2. So this automatically takes the 5th element of the array and divides it by, right? Serial.println X, that is, I am printing X. So if I have given X over here, no result will be printed. If I would have given Z over here or Z over here, then we would have observed the result to be printed. Okay. I hope you have understood. The result will be printed over here. Now we need to be careful while assigning value to an array. The index number greater than the size of the array may yield invalid data, right? Now such data is saved to random memory locations. That's what the problem is, right? Which can cause the program to malfunction or a difficult bug to find, right? So this is what happens. So that is why we need to take care while indexing or while naming, while pointing out the array. Okay. Now, the syntax to assign a value to an array is specified as myArray. You can write 0 equal to 5. So 0 means the first element of that. It's pointed to the first element. We can assign any value depending on the requirements. The syntax to retrieve a value from an array is specified as this. Okay. One of the basic project that we'll be doing that I have mentioned over here, blinking various LEDs using array. Okay. We'll be doing that. So keep this in mind. That's why I've mentioned the name over here. Loop arrays. What are these loop arrays? You must be wondering, sir, we have learned arrays, we have studied arrays, you are teaching arrays, but then what is this loop array? Where is this coming from? See, we can also use arrays inside the loop, right? So if we want it to run again and again, of course, we will be putting it, we'll put it inside the loop. For each element of an array, the loop counteracts as an index element of that array. What does that mean? I'll show. Let's understand with an example first. You see, the serial port need to be printed over. Okay, what have been done? For byte I equal to 0 and I less than 6. So this is the starting point. This is the end point. What is the function that we need to do? I equal to I plus plus. I plus plus, I have told you, I have made you learn in the operator class. I plus plus is basically I plus 1. So it will be getting incremented one by one. Okay. Okay, we can write it like this also, like this I plus 1 also. So serial.println my array I. So this element is going to be print. Okay. Now, very important part of today's session. One of the most important part, the examples. It may be very easy. It may be a little bit tough. It may be very tough. I try not to keep very tough examples for you. I try to keep it very easy and lucid for you to understand. Okay. Still, if you are not getting it, you can ask. We'll be answering the question. See, so printing the sum of all elements. Constant int. So I hope now it is clear why we use constant. Okay. Before mentioning it, constant int size of array equal to 5. So constant variable indicating size of array, right? So at the base we have indicated the before beginning the program, before beginning the coding, we have indicated size of the array. Now int b size of array, what is it? Equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5 elements are there, right? So 5 values initialized, they're initialized to 5 elements of an array. Int sum equal to 0, the beginning we have given. Inside setup again, the baud rate we have set up over here. Now, sum of array B. What we have done? Inside the for loop, again, for int, the character is integer type variable, okay? So int I equal to 0, that is the beginning. I less than size of array. Okay, what is the size of array, dear students? We have mentioned previously before the void setup. Okay, and I plus, that is I plus, okay? Sum plus equal to, that means it will add one and then display one, right? Assign B of I. Okay. What is we being doing here? The sum will be equal to the previous sum plus B of I. Now serial.print sum of total elements of an array. We print this statement, whole statement with the colon over here, and serial.print sum. It will be printing the sum of all elements of an array. So it will show like this, the output sum of total elements of an array, the statement, that is the number over. See, sum of total elements of an array, 150. Understood? I hope you understood. See if it is correct or not. 50 plus 40 is 90, 90 plus 30 is 120, 120 plus 20 is 140, 140 plus 10 is 150. So we have got this statement. You see, sum of total elements of an array. See this statement, sum of total elements of an array, and it will print this value. Okay. Now, why we have used serial.print and why not serial.println? Try to think of it. Okay. See the output and try to think of it. All right. I hope it is clear to you. Let's see another very important yet easy example. See, average of the elements of an array. Again, declared constant int size of array equal to 5. Okay. Int b size of array equal to 10, 30, 40, 55, 60. 5 value we have initialized, right? Now the int sum equal to 0 and int average equal to 0. We have initialized the code, we are initializing it. Void setup, we have referred to, we have mentioned the rate over here. Void loop, the sum of array. How to do it? For int I equal to 0, I less than size of array, I plus plus. This is now, by now you will be memorizing it. I'm using it again and again, that's why. sum plus equal to b of I, right? Then after we do the sum, how can we find the average? Very easy. Divide it with the total number of elements. What is it? 3, 4, 5. So divide it with 5. Then again, serial dot print this statement and serial dot print average. What is average? The value assigned to sum by 5. I hope this is very much clear to you by now. Okay, see, it is 40. So you can calculate it and you can see. Okay. All right. Very easy to use. We just needed to like understand what is the concept about it, what are arrays basically. Okay. And in our further classes, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use it. Okay. So we'll be using it. Okay. In our program, inside our program, we'll be using it while coding in Arduino, while doing the mini projects or major projects. Okay. So for today, this is it. This is the class for array. Revise it again and again. Okay. If you have any doubt, we'll be clearing it definitely. Thank you for being so patient. Bye, all of you.